Hey everyone, and welcome back to News with Sonic, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And here to talk to you about Spider-Man Noir series that's coming to Amazon, and that's going to be starring Nicolas Cage as the lead, Spider-Man Noir. This is pretty exciting. I did actually make a video about this not that long ago, specifically around like late last year or so, how Amazon officially announced that we're getting a Spider-Man Noir series, and it's going to be a live action. And I'm like, you might be thinking, how could this be possible? I mean, I thought Sony only had the rights to make the movies. Well, they have the rights to make anything that's live action involving Spider Man, including the movies. And since Sony does have shows on Amazon Prime, like The Boys, they can definitely do that. And it's a show that I've been wanting to see. We actually haven't had a live action Spider Man series, if you really think about it, since like the 70s or so. And if you count Japanese Spider Man, that is. But still, it's pretty exciting nonetheless. And I got an article here from the Hollywood Reporter, and we're going to go ahead and read it and then discuss. So here it says the Spider-Man Noir series Nicolas Cage a go at Amazon. The Marvels series from Sony TV will first debut on MGM Plus, the network formerly known as Epix, which is part of the Amazon family. And Amazon, Nicolas Cage is putting on the Spidey suit for Amazon. Amazon, ahead of its first upfront presentation Tuesday, announced that it is moving forward with Noir, a live-action series based on the Marvel Comics Spider-Man Noir. And will the show only be called Noir? Cage will star in the series, which was first put in development more than a year ago at the streamer. Noir revolves around an aging and down-on-his-luck private investigator, Cage, in 1930s New York, who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. The series is produced by Sony Pictures Television and Amazon MGM Studios. Noir is part of the larger Marvel Universe, and Amazon is assembling, which the streamer already working on Silk Spider Society with The Walking Dead alum Angela Kang. Chris Miller and Phil Lord, that guy is everywhere. He's attached to anything that's Marvel. The producers of Sony's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animated movies are overseeing Amazon's Marvel franchise. At least we know it's in pretty decent hands. And the duo first brought the Spider-Man Noir characters to screens with Spider-Verse and will exec produce Noir alongside showrunners Oren Oziel, 22 Jump Street, and Steve Lightfoot, Netflix's Marvel show Punisher. Amy Pascal, who has a hand in all of the Sony Spider-Man adaptations, will also be credited as an exec producer. Expanding the Marvel Universe with Noir is a uniquely special opportunity, and we are honored to bring this series to our global Prime Video customers, said Vernon Sanders, head of television at Amazon MGM Studios. The extremely talented Nicolas Cage is an ideal choice for our new superhero, and the accomplished producing team with Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, Amy Pascal, and the incredible team at Sony is dedicated to expanding this franchise in the most authentic way. I wonder, pause for a moment, I wonder, are we going to be getting the adaptation that we got in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where he was kind of like this bumbling, naive idiot, I guess you can say, where he was actually funny. That's what, Spider-Man Noir is actually one of the best parts in the Spider-Verse film. It's a shame that he's not really in the sequel. But still, is he going to be portrayed that way, or is he going to be really that much darker and more serious when we see him in live action? Is it going to be an alternate version? Because from what I know, he's an alternate version. He's not really going to be Peter Parker, from at least the last video that I made about this series that's coming out. So that's something that I really want to know. So like Silk, Noir will first debut on MGM Plus, the premium cable network formerly known as Epix, now owned by Amazon, before the show's debut on the streamer. We are absolutely thrilled to have Nicolas Cage starring in the series. No one else could bring such pathos, pain, and heart to this singular character. Along with our brilliant producers and partners in Amazon MGM Studios and Prime Video, we couldn't ask for a better team to explore the reimagining of such an iconic character in Sony's universe of Marvel characters. And Catherine Pope, president of Sony Pictures Television Studios, Lord and Miller moved their overall deal from Disney Plus's 20th television to Sony in April 2019 as part of the nine-figure pact. Were handed control of the studio's Marvel slate. Sony retains rights to characters including Spider-Man and all his villains like Green Goblin, Venom, the Tim Hardy films, meaning Tom Hardy, that's actually a typo, Morbius, the amazing movie that made more $1 billion, all his an example, the live action feature with Jared Leto, the Black Cat and Silver Sable, both previously in development on feature side, which I still think is not going to happen and shouldn't happen due to the failure of like movies such as Morbius and of course the recent Madam Web, which bombed. And I don't think Craven's going to fare even, honestly. Select TV projects related to Sony's Marvel characters will be produced in partnership with former Sony Pictures Entertainment co-chairman Pascal. Also, possibly on the table, all the characters from the Into the Spider-Verse. A premiere date for Noir or Silk has not yet been determined, and I hope those movies never come to fruition because Sony knows how to ruin an IP. At least they know how to ruin a bunch of IPs, and they're really good at it. I mean, you got a lot of people there who don't really give a damn about what they're doing. They don't really care. But aside from that, I wonder how they're going to handle this. I mean, from what I know, Spider-Man Noir, that version of Spider-Man that takes place in the 30s in an alternate universe, he's not old like Nicolas Cage, so this is definitely a different take on the character, and this is definitely not at least a Peter Parker version. And they're only calling the series Noir instead of Spider-Man Noir, although Spider-Man Noir just sounds that much cooler. I don't know why they decided just to call it Noir, but we'll see how it goes from there. I will give it a watch. I mean, a superhero that takes place in the 30s sounds pretty cool, honestly. And are they going to film this in black and white, or is there going to be color? Anyway, you let me know your thoughts, theories, questions, concerns, comments, whatever it is that you have. That's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, click on the bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. Dislike the video if you did. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.